Phew, can't be doing all this rushing around first thing in the morning. The sun is supposed to be rising over the back of me, sort of over that way. So I figured that we'd get the colour over there. But when I arrived, there was none of this cloud. Look at that cloud. Oh, yeah, that wasn't there. But we did have a lot of cloud down here, which was kind of that really popcorny, moody stuff, which I thought, fabulous, that will light up amazingly. No, we ended up getting some colour over here. Excuse me. And again, because I don't know the area, kind of struggling big time for a sensible composition. And I'm also very, very conscious of the tide. High tide is about an hour away. You can see the seaweed line up here, so it kind of looks as if this bit here is going to get cut off. So I'm also trying to keep an eye on where the hell the tide's coming up to, and it's a higher tide than last night. I've just seen another composition. Yeah, it's a higher tide than last night by about only half a metre. Wow, fancy wading through half a metre of water. So anyway, I digress. Right, what are we doing? We are shooting with the 10 to 20 almost wide open. We have got, there we are, f13, ISO 100, and 45.6 seconds. I've got the Lee little stopper on, and I have a 0.6 hard grad, because there is quite a defined horizon. And again, in the distance, they look like little blebs. I'm going to have to look on the maps. I believe we've got Elgal and Mull over there, and then Skye in the distance. Composition-wise, having run around like a lunatic from where I was, I'm just going to spin you around. Whee! I was just over here. I then rushed over here to find something shooting out this way, and I found this little inlet. I thought that'll work quite nicely. And the water beyond, the turquoise colour that you get with the soft morning light. I've gone to shooting landscape for landscape orientation for this one, because I wanted quite a wide view, because there was a lot of sky to get in. And I kind of think that works. But right, I'm going to, yes, I'm starting to get excited. That cloud is phenomenal. I'm going to try this composition that I've just kind of fallen over. Now you remember I said I was keeping an eye on the tide, because it's about half a metre higher than yesterday. I've just legged it over and picked up my time lapse. I come back and that water wasn't there 3 or 4 minutes ago. So I need to make a beat a hasty retreat out of here, because that's actually deeper than it looks. I'm gone. Now, because it was so windy yesterday, I didn't really get a chance to show you around this place. The wind has died right off. It's, I don't know, 20 past 7? Something like that. So I thought I'd take you for a little wander this morning. Look at the colour of this sand. Look at that. I say, I'm struggling to get my head around the fact we're in Scotland. The colour has gone now from this morning. But the clearness of that water, the only downside is there is masses of seaweed. I've never seen so much seaweed. You can see the darker patch out here. That patch there, that's just a bank of kelp. But what a view. What an absolutely incredible view. coast and then going south. But I've come through Corpach and the boat wreck. A little bit of history for you. She is the MV Dayspring, and I believe she was built in 1975. And in 2011, I believe it was, she broke free from her moorings and ran aground here. And she's been there ever since, in the shadow of Ben Nevis. Either that one's Ben Nevis or that one around there is. Now, I've been here before, many years ago, and we had a perfectly calm day, and I got an appalling image. I can't tell you how bad it is. And I was kind of hoping we were going to have the same conditions today, as in blue skies, fluffy clouds, and reflections, but we weren't. So it was a case of having a look for something a little bit different. And we have this massive outflow here. And then the curve of the bay leading round to the MV Dayspring and the mountains with the snow-covered tops in the background. So I have the wide angle on, and I thought we'd have a go at this. And my composition, I'm hoping you can hear me over the noise of the water, basically have the water coming out in the foreground, and then it leads you through to the boat. Now, the right hand side, as you look at the image, is very empty. There's not a lot I can do about that, because there's all sorts of rubbishy stuff here that I don't want in the image. But I think it actually works quite well. I've got the 10 stop on, I've got a 0.6 hard grad. We were shooting at, wait for it, F13, ISO 100, and 5 seconds worked out just about spot on. Just enough to get some nice motion in this, which I thought made a bit of a difference to the foreground. A little bit of motion in the cloud, and it didn't blow any highlights, so I was quite pleased with that. Now there is, in the background here, there's a little bridge, somewhere over there anyway. I'm going to take a wander over and get a bit closer up to her. And I might try and get up closer with the wide angle, although it's going to be really hard to find a lead-in line. And apparently in 2017, she launched a search and rescue mission. The local search and rescue people, the helicopters, the lifeboats, the lifeguards, got an emergency call at something like 1 o'clock in the morning with a distress buoy going off, a distress signal. And they searched until about 6:20 in the morning, I think they stood down. And it was on her buoy, there is a distress beacon, and somehow it triggered. And they're not really sure why, because they would have expected it to have had a flat battery by now. But perhaps it's because she doesn't want to be forgotten. It started to rain again, and I think that's put paid to any photography. So I thought I'd just give you a quick closer up view of the MV Dayspring. Just be able to make out the barbed wire running along the signs and the... Oh, it gives me the willies just thinking about going on that. Well, obviously she's still owned by somebody. I can't imagine why they haven't rescued her or salvaged her. And I'm guessing that's the buoy that set off the Mayday signal. I'm actually surprised that she's wooden hulled, or she appears to be wooden hulled. I suppose I think of all modern ships as metal. I think this is the angle I did before, and we had reflections. Plays havoc with the distortion on a 10-20 lens. And to my knowledge, nobody perished with her. She just broke free from her moorings and ended up over here. And from my school days, I vaguely recall that this line is called the Plimsoll line. And that line is sort of the marker in the water. If you lose the plimsoll line, you're overladen, I believe. I might be talking complete twaddle, but I think that's what it was for. But she really is an impressive thing. It's weird, I know she's been stood there for years, but I don't want to get too close in case she suddenly decides to fall over. And I guess it's a testament to the engineering of the thing that she hasn't completely disintegrated. She's been here since 2011, so that's quite some time. And obviously her propellers have been taken. I can't get any closer out than that. And that's her motor, or the rudder, and what the propellers would have been attached to. It's amazing that nobody's come and reclaimed her. Well, I doubt that you're going to pick this up on camera, but it's now actually raining quite heavily, so that really has put paid to any photography now. It's time to head back to Maddie and have some breakfast because I'm starving. But I'm quite pleased with the image that I got with that water rushing out. That's not the image I was expecting at all. It's good to have something different, I guess. And the clouds are moving in over Ben Nevis. Well, it's a really quite dramatic sky. As you see, the mountains are disappearing into the mist. Hey-ho! Right, breakfast. And if I don't see you later, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon.